So children, in my previous video, I had talked about transportation and transpiration. Now we are going to study about the importance of minerals in a plant. So from where a plant gets the minerals? They get the minerals along with the water. It is absorbed by the roots. Okay, so this minerals that are absorbed by the roots, they're actually required in the plant body. Why? For the plants to grow well and to complete their life cycle. So we all requires different type of food to complete our life cycle. The different life cycle, once you are born, then you grow, then you become adult. Okay. Similarly, a plant also, when from the seed they grow into seedling, then a plant, then a bigger plant. To complete the life cycle also, minerals play a very important role. So there are two different types of minerals. One is macronutrients and the other one is micronutrients. Okay. So the macronutrients means the minerals that are required in large concentration or in large amount in a plant body. They are called as macronutrients. They are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Okay. Now the role in the plant is that they are the major. Nitrogen provides the plant with proteins, and they also help in the opening and closing of stomata. Potassium. And the deficiency syndromes are also present in the book, okay, on page 9, table 1.1. Okay, the micronutrients that you see here, that it means that these minerals are required in the plant body in very small amount. Okay, and all these minerals are obtained from the soil. Okay, now you can see here the micronutrients are iron, manganese and zinc. The iron forms the constituent of proteins, manganese forms the constituent of enzymes, and zinc, they are constituent of plant hormones and activates enzymes. Okay, so now we move on to the other part. Okay, they are called as, here we are going to study about the roots, how the water is absorbed by the roots. Now in any plant, you have got a shoot system and a root system, isn't it? Our root system, I'm talking about the root system, not the shoot system. Root system consists of a main root and lateral roots. And on this lateral roots, we have got fine outgrowth which is called as root hairs. This diagram that you see is a highly magnified image of a root hair. Okay, here you can see the extension of an epidermal cell of the root. This is a root hair where you can see an epidermal extension of the cell of the root. This is a plant cell. How? Because cell wall is present. Okay. Now the outer cell wall that you see here is rigid. And the inner cell membrane. You can see cell membrane here, the inner one. They are enclosing nucleus. All these are cytoplasms. And inside the cytoplasm, you have got the different organelles present. Okay, now we concentrate in the functions of these two, cell wall and cell membrane. The cell wall is said to be freely permeable. I say freely permeable. It means it allows all substances to pass through it. And the cell membrane is called semi-permeable because it allows only certain substances to pass through it. That is, it prevents the entry of any larger molecules. Okay, so this facilitates the movement of water molecules from the soil into the root cell. Okay, now why are this cell sap in the root hair is of higher concentration? Why it is called higher concentration? Because the food is stored in the plant in the form of starch. And they are produced as glucose but stored in the form of starch. And this food is transported in the plant body in the form of sucrose solution. So what is happening? The cell sap in the root hair is of higher concentration because it contains more solutes compared to the surrounding soil water. Surrounding water is there, soil water. It is getting absorbed. So here the concentration of the cell sap is more. This solute is more here than it is outside. This root hair is well suited for absorbing from the soil in the three ways. The first one is it provides large surface area. That is, more the surface area, more will be the absorption. Second is, the cell sap in the root hairs have a higher concentration. That is, the cell sap has got higher concentration than the surrounding soil water, I said, because the solute is more. Third is, cell wall is freely permeable. That is, it permits different types of substances to enter and come out from it. But the cell membrane which is present allows only certain substances to pass through it. The nature of this semi-permeable membrane, we will talk to you after this through a diagram where you can see that the semi-membrane, how it is allowing the water and the solute to move across each other. Okay, now the next part will be doing that.